And a welcome inside Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where it's men's varsity lacrosse action tonight with the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets playing host to the Chatham University Cougars. Starting it off for the Cougars tonight, I should say. On attack, a 6'3 sophomore from Easton, Pennsylvania, number 1, Trent Griffin. At midfield, a 6-foot junior from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, number 2, Thomas Curtin. At midfield, a 6'1 freshman from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, number 3, Brady Rigdon. At attack, a 5'11 freshman from Windsor, Colorado, number 4, Tanner Marsh. At midfield, a 6'1 sophomore from Pittsburgh, number 5, Jacob Labawi. At attack, a 5'10 sophomore from Delran, New Jersey, number 13, Alex Stanukinis. On defense, a 6-foot sophomore from Cary, North Carolina, number 20, Ethan Joshi. At goal, a 6-foot sophomore from Chicago City, Minnesota, number 24, Brett Zarumba. On defense, a 5'8 freshman from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 27, Jack Neal. And on defense, a 6'3 senior from Dover, Delaware, number 32, Logan Blankenship. The Cougars are coached by Kevin McDonough. Starting it off for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. In goal, a 6'1 senior keeper, number 1, Samuel LaPiccolo. On attack, a 6'6 senior from Medina, number 4, Jake Nanoski. On attack, a 6'2 freshman from Hilliard-Davidson High School, number 5, Noah Dodgen. At midfield, a 6-foot sophomore from Pickerington North High School, number 7, Bennett Trout. At midfield, a 5'8 sophomore from Thomas Worthington High School, number 12, Nate Hoover. On defense, a 5'8 sophomore from Verona, Wisconsin, number 18, Logan Laffler. At midfield, a 6-foot sophomore from Westerville Central High School, number 25, Ethan Sheely. On defense, a 5'10 freshman from Clarkston, Michigan, number 27, Gavin Pate. On attack, a 6-foot sophomore from Fairport, New York, number 33, Jacob Kuhnman. And on defense, a 6'2 sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina, and Northern Guilford High School, number 37, Loudon Peters. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Tony Tatro in his 3rd season. He's assisted by Caleb Delaney, Rory Jeffers, and Bill Schmolt. Right now, we're going to pause for the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll have the opening face-off from Tressel Field. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets will be wearing white with brown numerals and lettering, brown and gold stripes around the sides of each of the sleeves on the jersey. Chatham will be in purple uniforms with purple helmets, white numerals, and lettering with Cougars written across the front of the jersey. And they will have gray shorts. In this first quarter, Chatham will go from left to right, while the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets will go right to left. The teams are meeting at midfield. The captains met earlier today. We'll go over some ground rules with the officials. The opposing goaltenders shake hands and then run off to their respective nets. And then the rest of the players will do the same before heading out to their sides of the field. The faceoff is controlled by the Yellow Jackets. It was Zach Zool who helped win it. He was drawn against Devin Traitzer. The Yellow Jackets take it around the cage. Behind the cage now. He'll get swung out in reversed left side to Sheely. Sheely sends it behind the net. And that's to Dodgen. Now out front it goes to Nanoski. And the Yellow Jackets will retain possession. And it'll be Bennett Trout who will control once play is signaled back in. Riley Lewis acting as a shadow, preventing Trout from getting around and getting back out front of the net. Trout forced back behind the cage one more time. Reverses it out to Kuhnman. Kuhnman sends it back out top. Looking for a cutting lane. That's Nate Hoover. Hoover gets there and fires the shot into the back of the net for the Yellow Jacket goal. The Yellow Jackets come in with an overall record of 0-5. They're 0-1 at home, but the record is deceiving. Two of their previous losses, I should say, are by 2 goals or less. Chatham comes in at 3-2 overall. They are a perfect 2-0 away from home. So we head back to midfield for the draw. And this one is controlled by Chatham. That's Traster coming out of the pile with it. Looking for an outlet. He's forced to his right toward the near sideline. Good work by Ethan Hinkson. Shot on net, deflected out top, and we're back to even as the rebound bounced right out to Alex Stanukaitis, and he rocketed it into the back of the goal for the equalizer. So 13:33 left in this first quarter, and we are even at 1 apiece. Both teams taking advantage of opportunities to score on their first possession. The ball is scooped up into the air, and it will be run down by the Yellow Jackets very briefly. And now it'll be scooped up. The loose ball taken by Riley Lewis of the Cougars. Now the Yellow Jackets get in the mix, and the battle is won by Bennett Trout. Trout takes it off left side, sends it behind the net to Dodgen. It gets reversed to Nanoski on the far side. Kuhnman with it now for the Yellow Jackets. Looking for a driving lane. The stutter's to his left, charges to the right, gets forced out and will pass, but it's taken away by Chatham. Yellow Jacket deflected it. Now a battle ensues for the ball, and it will be scooped up by Bennett Trout of the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. He will take it to the top of the formation. Send it over to Nanoski near side. Nanoski slips a pass inside to Jake Kuhnman, and he goes low far side and gets the Yellow Jacket goal. Yellow Jackets back in front, 2-1. 12:13 to go here in the first quarter of play from Tressel Field in this non-conference matchup between the Chatham University Cougars and Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets. The ball is scooped up onto the Yellow Jacket defensive side of the field, but it'll be taken by Owen Taff of the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Sent over to Nanoski. He'll send it to Trout, left side. Trout behind the net with a pass. It goes to Dodgen. Dodgen around the net and bounces it in for the Yellow Jacket goal. He went far side left post low and put it home for the Yellow Jackets. BW now in front by 2, 3-1. And now being sent on for the draw, Evan Vetter, a 5'8 freshman from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, and Seneca Valley High School. It's won by the Yellow Jackets. That's Vetter hustling down the field. He tried to slip a pass to Bennett Trout, and it was sent out by the Yellow Jackets, so Chatham will get possession. Blankenship playing a back and forth game with the keeper. Gets it back. Now sends it back to the keeper, Zaruba. He'll lob it down the field, and it will carry him out of bounds off of the Cougars' possession to the Yellow Jackets. Piccolo takes a pass behind the net from Loudon Peters, then lobs it far side. What a catch by the Yellow Jackets. That was Dodgen with full extension on his stick and was able to seize control of that ball to set up an attack for BW. Shaley behind the net to Trout. Trout driving to the right of the cage. Stutter steps once more, then kicks it out. It gets reversed over to Reichen Gieselhart. Gieselhart sends it out top to Shealy, and he'll bury it for the Yellow Jacket goal. BW keeping up the pressure very early in this game. They hold a 4-1 advantage with 10:34 to go in this first quarter. And we have a timeout on the field by Chatham while we have this break in the action. Want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform providers for BW Athletics. Today's game is also brought to you by University Hospitals, Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's match is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893, Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider, Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University, Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics, Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event, and Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're listening to tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game against Chatham on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. So Chatham, after allowing 3 straight goals, called a timeout, hoping the regroup will help. Yellow Jackets lead it 4-1 here with 10:34 left to go in the first quarter. And once again, it will be Vetter drawing for the Yellow Jackets against Sam Nover. Vetter charges down the field, slips it to Trout. It gets skipped over to Nanoski. He'll hustle after it, keeps it alive, but it's scooped up by Chatham. It will be lobbed down the field, caught by Thomas Curtin. He'll lob it into the Yellow Jacket bench out of the reach of Isaac Joshi, the 6-foot senior midfielder from Cary, North Carolina. It was a little bit too tall for him to reach up and get it. And the Yellow Jackets will get possession. Gets dropped back to Lil Piccolo. He'll lob it up the field. And it will pop out of the pocket of Nate Hoover, but he will scoop it back up near midfield. Sends it left side to Shealy. Bailey over to Nanoski. He fakes the shot, charges towards the net. Off a deflection. It is scooped up and kept alive by the Yellow Jackets. Dodgen will take it behind the cage. Dodgen driving to his left, skips it across the crease. No good, but the Yellow Jackets keep it. And rifling it home is Ian Shaley. He buries it near side, top shelf, and puts the Yellow Jackets up by 4. Reichen Geiselhart will pick up the assist. And the Yellow Jackets continue to pour on the pressure early against Chatham. The Yellow Jackets will get possession off of an infraction. It's Trout with the ball behind the cage. He drives near the net and deposits it in the goal. It's another Yellow Jacket tally. They are absolutely living in Chatham's side of the field right now, and the Cougars are having trouble doing anything to stop it. One thing they will try is a new keeper, as Zaruba is out, and coming in to replace him, a 6-foot junior from Herndon, Virginia, number 7, Zen Smith. Venner set on to draw for the Yellow Jackets against Curtin. And possession once again, this time awarded on an infraction, but to Chatham. Another stoppage in play. Chatham will be awarded the ball. Iovino with the ball for Chatham. Takes it behind the cage and backs it back out. Fires it out top to Labawi. Now over to Rigdon. Rigdon stutter steps around a Yellow Jacket defender. Out top to Iovino. Over right side to Labawi. And a Yellow Jacket keeper, Lopiccolo, gets in front of it for the save. It's scooped up by the Yellow Jackets. Hustling after it and controlling it is number 55, Caleb Fox. Fox out top, and it is saved by Chatham. One heck of a shot by Gavin Pate, and Smith was able to corral it. However, Trout with the steal throws it in an open cage and sends it wide to the left. Smith was well out of position after throwing the pass down the field that Trout intercepted. And fortunately for Chatham, Trout was off the mark. You're not going to get more of an open look at it, but it was a tough angle shot for Trout, and it went wide. You'll be sent to the middle of the field to Blankenship. He loses it after some good stick work by the Yellow Jackets. Trout with the ball now. 3-on-3 the other way. He'll put it toward Nanoski, and he led him a little bit too far. It's out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Jake Nanoski, not an easy target to miss at 6'6", but it happened on that play. Now Chatham will look to get something going. Jack Neal with it. He'll send it near side to Riley Lewis. And it will be knocked out of bounds off of the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets will get it. It's Bennett Trout with the ball down the near sideline, left side. Feigns a shot attempt. Now exercising some patience as he sends it behind the net to Dodgen. Dodgen will reverse it right side to Nanoski. Nanoski out top. Now it gets reversed over to Kuhnman. Back out top it goes to Paxton Allison behind the net. And Yellow Jackets will miss on the crossing pass attempt, and it will go out of bounds in the Chatham's bench. It will be a Chatham possession. They work it up the far sideline. That's Rigdon with it. He'll send it back to Labawi. Back to Rigdon out top. He'll fire it behind the net to Griffin. Griffin throws it toward the net, and it's wide, and it will go out of bounds. Deflected by the Yellow Jackets, so possession will favor Chatham. And it will be Tanner Marsh with it. He'll slip it now to number 44, Isaac Joshi. Out top it goes to Labawi. Left side pass goes to Rigdon, and it's sent out of bounds off the deflection one more time by the Yellow Jackets. Possession will stay with Chatham. Josie with it. Somehow keeps a handle on it after taking a back check by the Yellow Jackets. The ball is knocked out by BW. It's scooped up, but now it is loose on the turf here at Finnie Stadium. And charging in to try and scoop it up, Loudon Peters. The Yellow Jackets do, in fact, get it back. Ethan Hinkson up the field to Trout. Trout behind the net to Dodgen. Dodgen sends it right side to Nanoski. Nanoski out top with the pass to Sheely. Now charging toward the net with the ball, it's Hoover. Around the world it goes, stopping at Sheely, and he'll rocket it home. He goes far post, top shelf, and buries another goal for the Yellow Jackets. Sheely with the goal, and Reichen Gieselhart with the assist. The Yellow Jackets now in front by a commanding score of 7-1 with 5:06 left to go in this first quarter. Zach Zool on the draw for the Yellow Jackets now. The Yellow Jackets have had a lot of success. And Tracer will scoop it back for Chatham. And, in fact, they will be called for an infraction. Play is resumed. Nanoski with it. Behind the net to Dodgen. Dodgen looking to get it out top. Cannot. He'll take it back behind the cage. Swing it over to Trout left side. Trout goes out top to Kuhnman. Kuhnman now to Geiselhart. He'll send it right side to Hoover. Hoover behind the net to Trout. Trout sends it out to Kuhnman on the left side. Kuhnman on the drive. Kicks it to Geiselhart. Down low it goes, and it will be saved on the shot by Dodgen, by Smith, and then it'll be deflected out of bounds off of Chatham. Possession will favor the Yellow Jackets. Nanoski out to Hoover out top. Hoover gets hit to the turf, loses possession, but it'll be scooped up once more by the Yellow Jackets. Kuhnman tracks it down over to Nanoski on the far side. Nanoski to Dodgen behind the net. Dodgen out top, and he threw it away. The Yellow Jackets trying to scoop it up, and they will not before it crosses midfield, so it'll be Chatham with the ball. Griffin on possession. Griffin kicks it out to Labawi. It gets sent over to Ethan Rinker. Rinker drops back toward midfield, waiting for Chatham to get a substitution. Now he'll drive right side. Send it behind the cage to Griffin. Out top it goes, but it's stolen away by the Yellow Jackets. Off the deflected pass. It's Trout with it, left side. And Trout rings it off the side of the post. It's scooped up now by Smith. It is sent now out top to Jackson Adkins for the Cougars. And now it's reversed over to Rigdon. Rigdon behind the net. Tries to get a shot on, and it will trickle its way past Lopicolo for the Cougar goal. They get back on the board with 2:29 to go here in the first quarter. After 6 straight goals by the Yellow Jackets, the Cougars find the net once more. Zach Soul will be facing off for the Yellow Jackets against Colin Beeman, a 6-foot freshman midfielder from Wilmington, Delaware. Soul scoops it into the Chatham side of the field. Loose ball. Now sent over, and Soul battling for it once more. It's flipped up in the air by the Yellow Jackets, and it will be controlled by the Cougars. Coming out of the pack with it, that's Beeman. Up the far sideline he goes. Now he'll try to cut back to the middle of the field. Loses balance, loses the ball, deflects it over to a teammate, and it's scooped up by Labawi. Labawi loses a handle on it but gets it back. Drops it back for Rigdon. Rigdon to Labawi. Shot on net is deflected by the Yellow Jackets. It will stay with the Cougars. Play is signaled back in. And that's Griffin on possession. And Chatham will work it around to Iovino. Now out to Marsh. Marsh back to Labawi. He'll send it over to Rigdon on the left side. Rigdon tries to put it toward the net. LaPiccolo steps out from in front of the cage to catch the ball. And LaPiccolo will drive it almost all the way to midfield, trying to get it to Nanoski. Now it'll be scooped up by Smith of the Cougars, and LaPiccolo has to hustle. Thomas Curtin with the ball. Sends a pass left side to Griffin. Chatham bounces it off of the cage, and Chatham will keep possession. Iovino sends a pass out to Joshi. Joshi off left side. Gives it out front to Rinker. Rinker drives left of the cage. And fires a shot wide of the net that is once again deflected by the Yellow Jackets. Just 16 seconds left here in this first quarter. Chatham looking to cut into what is a 5-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. And that shot will be wide of the net once more. And possession to the Yellow Jackets. 8 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. LaPiccolo has it. He'll loft it 3/4 of the way down the field. As a jump ball, Nanoski with it, and Nanoski's shot goes wide of the cage. If you're going to put a jump ball up, having 6'6" Jake Nanoski on the receiving end of it, never a bad idea. The Yellow Jackets will take a 7-2 lead into the second quarter of play. And before we get to that second quarter, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics, University Hospitals, Jasinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, second quarter action between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and Chatham Cougars on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where it's men's lacrosse action as the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets take on the Chatham University Cougars. The teams have switched ends. Chatham will go right to left here in this second quarter. BW will go left to right. BW in the white uniforms with brown numerals and gold and brown trim. Chatham in purple uniforms with white numerals and silver trim. Face-off won by the Yellow Jackets, but it is quickly taken away by the Cougars. Thomas Curtin with possession. He'll drop it back to Zen Smith, who then lobs it up the near side of the field to Rinker. Ethan Rinker jogs it into the attack zone for the Cougars. Sends it out top now to Brady Rigdon. Now it gets reversed behind the net. Out front, the pass wasn't there, and it's heading into the Chatham bench. And last touched by the Yellow Jackets on a deflection. Possession will stay with the Cougars. Tanner Marsh with it, and 36 seconds and counting left on the shot clock. Rigdon with it. Rather, Labawi now will send it behind the net to Griffin. Griffin shoots it, and it goes off a deflection of his own teammate, Jacob Labawi. Possession will stay with the Cougars. Labawi out top to Rigdon. Rigdon behind the cage one more time to Griffin. Shot attempt is wide of the net, and possession will go over to the Yellow Jackets as the shot clock had expired. So the Yellow Jackets get a fresh 80 on what is their first full possession of this second quarter. And that's Loudon Peters muscling the ball toward midfield. Zach Soul with it. Rather, Hoover with it, excuse me. It gets reversed over to Dodgen, now to Nanoski on the near side. Nanoski looking for a driving lane, backs it back out. Sends it out top. It deflects away from Hoover, but it's scooped up by Kuhnman. Now over to Sheely, behind the net to Dodgen. Over to Nanoski, right side. Nanoski in tight. It goes to Kuhnman, and he puts it home for the Yellow Jacket tally. BW now in front by an 8-2 count with 12:41 to go here in the second quarter of action. Vetter drawing for the Yellow Jackets. And it is won by the Cougars. As luck would have it, I do not have a 22 on the Chatham roster that is sitting in front of me right now. So we'll have to do some research during a break to see if we can get the name of the Cougar who just won that draw. It gets sent out to Labawi. Labawi right side. Jogs it in behind the cage. Yellow Jackets trying to jar the ball loose. They'll force a pass instead. It goes to Iovino. Now over to Marsh. Back to Iovino. Iovino reverses it to Marsh once more on the right side. Marsh looking for a driving lane. It's not there. Caleb Fox doing some good work defensively to keep him away from the goal. Rigdon with it now. Slips it inside, and it's saved by the Yellow Jackets. Point-blank shot from Stan Ukinis is saved by Lopiccolo. Gets reversed to Dodgen from Ryan Frankovich. Now to Nanoski, over to Hoover. Hoover sends it over to Geiselhart. Now to Sheely, and back to Sheely, and he goes far, top shelf, left side, and buries the goal. Sheely having himself one heck of a game here in this first half of action. And a timeout is signaled for by the Cougars, it looks like. That's their second and final timeout of this first half. While we have this opportunity, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. I want to congratulate the third-ranked Baldwin Wallace University baseball team as they won their game over at Fisher Field just down the road from Finnie Stadium here tonight over Grove City out of Pennsylvania. The Yellow Jackets won it 3-2. They plated 2 runs in the 7th inning, and that proved to be the difference in the ball game for the Yellow Jackets. Vetter to draw for the Yellow Jackets. And it will be deflected toward midfield and controlled by Curtin. It gets shot in on net, but it's picked up by LaPiccolo. He'll outlet it near side to Peters. Back to LaPiccolo. He'll run it up the field and send it over to Geiselhart. Over to Trout left side. Back to Geiselhart. Now to Nanoski on the right side. Geiselhart sends it out top to Allison. Paxton Allison will then give it quickly to Sheely. To Trout. Back to Allison. Over to Geiselhart. It's wide of him, and it goes out of bounds, where possession will now favor Chatham. Some regrouping on the substitutions for both teams. On the fly. Joshi with it. He charges towards the right of the goal. Swings it over to Marsh. Now a shot on net, and LaPiccolo scoops it up once more. He'll run it away from a Chatham Cougar and then send a pass up the far sideline to Hunter Boehm. Boehm with it near side. Sends it to Dodgen. Behind the net with a pass to Trout. It gets reversed to near midfield to Sheely. It'll get sent on net, by Kuhnman, but it's wide. The Yellow Jackets will retain possession with 40 on the shot clock, so halfway through this possession. And it's dodging with it. Out front it goes. Gets reversed to Sheely, now to Nanoski. Nanoski cuts back to his left, lobs it down low, and it's in the back of the net from Bennett Trout. Good work by Jake Nanoski to attract the attention of the defense and slip the pass to Bennett Trout for the one-on-one shot on goal. The Yellow Jackets now in front by 8. They lead it 10-2 here in the second period. 8:14 left to go before halftime. Vetter in the draw for the Yellow Jackets once more, working against Curtin, and it will be controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Owen Tafe with it, and it's deflected out of bounds, and control will go over to the Cougars. Gets dropped back to Smith, now reversed back over to Jack Neal. Neal up near midfield. Slips a pass to Iovino. Now it's Labawi with it. Gives it off to Rigdon. And it will go out of bounds off of the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets will get possession. Piccolo sends it far left side. And it's Hoover with it. Over to Trout. Trout behind the net to Dodgen. Dodgen over to Nanoski. Nanoski on the drive. Forced to pass out. Does so to Geiselhart. He fanned on the shot as it popped out of the webbing of his stick, and it's controlled. Well, now it's loose. It was controlled by Chatham. It will be scooped into the far corner, and somehow the Cougars keep it before they pursue it up the field with Jackson Adkins. Adkins drops it back to Labawi. Labawi sends it right side, and it's deflected by the Yellow Jackets. It looked like Marsh just fell down, but the officials say that he did fall down on his own, but it was still deflected by the Yellow Jackets. So it gets sent out to Labawi, over to Rigdon out top. Rigdon on the drive, puts it on net. Lopiccolo deflects it sky high, and then it will be battled for in front of his cage. Chatham tries to scoop it in on net. Lopiccolo picks it up, sends it over to Tafe. Now it's across midfield for the Yellow Jackets with Hinkson in possession. Out front to Fox. Fox on the attack, sends it wide, and possession will stay with BW. Dodge in behind the net. Sends it over to Trout, left side. Trout will back it out. Send it out top, get it right back. Trout off on the left wing. Looking for an attacking lane. Fires it on net. It's deflected by the Cougars. Trout will keep it. 39 seconds left on the shot clock. It's Hoover with possession on the right side now. Hoover driving towards the cage. Backs it out. Skips it over to Nanoski. And it's put on net by the Yellow Jackets, and off the post it goes sky high and about 20 yards down the field before the Yellow Jackets will get possession. Joe Torborg with it, and now we have a stoppage in play. And play is whistled back in. Yellow Jackets stay on possession. Hoover with it, sends it over top of the goal. And the Yellow Jackets will keep possession. Yellow Jackets miss an opportunity to communicate on a pass, and it goes across midfield where it's scooped up by the Cougars. Trent Griffin with it. Out top it goes to Curtin. Now down low, and it will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets will get possession. Yellow Jackets with it, close to the net, and it's put home by Bennett Trout, who is absolutely crushed from behind in the process of getting the shot on goal and in. The flag flew on the far side. No doubt it was as Trout was on the drive. Ian Sheely picks up the assist. He continues what has been an impressive game tonight, as the Yellow Jackets now lead it 11-2 with 4:20 to go here in the second period. Sheely leading the way with 4 goals, so a hat trick plus 1. He's also picked up a couple helpers in the process. Noah Delow drawn against Vetter, and it's scooped up by the Yellow Jackets. Coming out of the pile with it, Noah Bartos. Out front it goes to Trout. Trout on the left side rifles it toward the net, and it was deflected. It will stay with the Yellow Jackets. Dodging with it. Dodging charges to the left side of the net, sends it out top to Sheely. Sheely down low. It's scooped up by Dodgin. Behind the cage. Out front it goes, and it's deflected into the stick of Zen Smith, the keeper for Chatham. And now Riley Lewis with it across midfield, hustling down in the attack zone, sends it over to Labawi. Now it gets sent over to Tyler Laughlin, the 5'10 freshman attacker from Annandale, Virginia. The Bowie with it, left side. On the wing, forced back up top. And his pass is deflected, but Griffin will keep it. Griffin drives left, puts a shot on net. It's saved by Lopiccolo. Hustled after by the Yellow Jackets, and it will go out of bounds. And it will stay with Chatham. Iavino with it. Right side, bounces it toward the cage. It's scooped up and put home off the rebound by Alex Stanukinas. The Yellow Jacket lead down to 8 now as Chatham gets their third tally of the first half. BW leads it 11-3 with 2:37 left to go in the second quarter. Colin Beeman on the draw for the Cougars. Zach Soule on to draw for the Yellow Jackets. The Strongsville native scoops it into the attack side of the field, and Trout scoops it up. it back toward midfield. And gives the Yellow Jackets some time to get some line changes on. Hoover with it, right side. Hoover drops it back for Ryan Janssens. Now to Hoover. Sends it left side. That's Kuhnman with it. Out to Hoover, back to Kuhnman. Back to Hoover, right side. Over to Nanoski. Jake Nanoski with it. Out top. Fires it towards the net, and it's saved by Zen Smith. He'll lob it down the field. And it is tracked down by Curtin. Curtin outlets it to Beeman. Beeman out top to Joshi. Joshi off right side. Looking to lob it toward midfield. The Yellow Jackets force him to think of another option. Fein on the pass to Curtin. Now it gets sent out top to Rinker. Rinker to Rigdon, who charges on to the field. Lobs it behind the net. Out front it goes, and it's blocked and taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Gets sent over to Jake Nanoski on the far right side. He fires it towards the net, and it sails wide and high. The Yellow Jackets will keep it. It's Bennett Trout who will get play resumed. 42 seconds left in this first half. Trout with it. Left side. Out top to Geiselhart. Now to Sheely. Sheely already with 4 tallies tonight. Geiselhart with it. Ducks out of one hit. Sends it toward the cage, and it's taken away by Zen Smith. Smith looking for an outlet. He outlets it far side, and it will go out of bounds off of the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets with 7 seconds left here in the half, and they will signal for a timeout. While we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotundo and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. 7 seconds left here in this first half. Baldwin Wallace looking to add a late tally to build on what is an 8-point advantage. They lead it 11-3. Kuhnman will start the possession for the Yellow Jackets. Signal is given, and we're back underway. Kuhnman with it, fires it towards the net, and it's saved by Smith. He'll lob it down the field, and that will end the first half. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets take an 11-3 lead into the halftime break. We're going to step aside on BWYellowJackets.com for a break. When we come back, we'll have third quarter action for you right here from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Matt Florjancic on the call of today's men's lacrosse game between Baldwin Wallace and Chatham. BW with an 11-3 lead at the half. And taking a look at the first half statistics for you. The Yellow Jackets were led in scoring by Ian Sheely, 4 goals and 1 assist in that first half, and Bennett Trout also with a hat trick as he had 3 goals on 7 shots. He also had 3 ground balls to lead the Yellow Jackets in that category. Jake Kuhnman has tallied twice, and Noah Dodgen and Nate Hoover each have 1 goal for the Yellow Jackets with 3 assists. Jake Nanoski leads the way, and he is tied for the team lead, I should say, with Reichen Geiselhart, who also has 3 helpers. Samuel Lopiccolo, the goalie, has 9 saves on 12 shots faced. 12 shots on goal, I should say. He's faced 20 total. Taking a look at the Chatham statistics leading away, Alex Stanukinis leads with 2 goals, and Brady Rigdon has the other tally. No assists for Chatham, and their keeper, Brett Zaruba, who was lifted, had 6 saves on 28 shots faced. He was lifted for Zen Smith. Big week of action here for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets athletic department. After tonight, the Yellow Jackets will have 8 wrestlers who will compete at the national championships up in Wisconsin. Michael Petrella looking to defend his national championship from last year. Jacob Decatur, who won 2 years ago, is looking to get back to the top of the podium. And then Jaden Hinton, who finished in 4th place last year, looking to take a couple steps up that podium and bring home a national championship for the Yellow Jackets. Speaking of individual national championships, congratulations go to high jumper Christian Pfeiffer, who won the indoor national championship last weekend, and Hope Murphy of the Yellow Jacket women's team placed 2nd in the 800 meters. So the Yellow Jackets winter and spring athletes off to a great start. Also, congratulations to the BW women's basketball team on another Sweet 16 appearance. This was number 7 in program history. The Yellow Jackets won back-to-back games in the opening and second rounds after being given an at-large bid and advanced to the Sweet 16 once again, second time in the last 3 years. So congratulations on another great season by Sherry Hare, Cody Hartzler, and their team, as the Yellow Jackets once again winning the OAC regular season title and advancing to the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. The Yellow Jackets start this half with a face-off win, and the pass is sent wide of Bennett Trout. It will be Chatham who will get possession. Curtin with the ball. He gets it across midfield. Drawing attention from 3 Yellow Jackets, and it's knocked out of his stick and will be scooped down the field by the Cougars before Caleb Fox will get it for the Yellow Jackets. Fox charges down the field. Ducks out of 1 check attempt. Sends it over to Nanoski on the right side. Nanoski over to Trout. Trout catches it off a deflection, fires it towards the net, and scores for the Yellow Jackets. Bennett Trout with his 4th tally of the game to tie him for the team lead in the game, with Ian Sheely, who had 4 goals in the first half, and the Yellow Jackets now with a 12-3 edge on the scoreboard. Now on to take the draw for the Yellow Jackets, Gavin Flack. He's 6-foot sophomore. He wins it. And it's sent back to Taff. Now to Trout on the left side. Trout jogs it in behind the cage. Gets Nanoski on the left wing. Nanoski to Trout. Trout feigns the pass to Nanoski, drives right side over to Geiselhart. Off the deflection. It's scooped up by the Yellow Jackets. Sheely with it. He'll lob it out front to Kuhnman. Over to Nanoski. Back over to Sheely on the right side. Puts it to Geiselhart, and he will rocket it into the upper right corner, left corner of the net for the Yellow Jacket tally. And now BW is in front by 10, 13-3 with 13:08 to go here in the third quarter. The Yellow Jackets control the draw once more. Zach Soul with it. He'll send it over to John Bartolotto. Now behind the net is Jake Nanoski with it. Out front to Hoover. Over to Sheely. Now it gets sent left side to Kuhnman. Back right side to Hoover. Hoover chop stepping his way towards the goal. Swings it behind to Bennett Trout. Trout with it. All the way out top. Now to Sheely. Sheely off left side. We'll send it to Kuhnman. Kuhnman behind the net to Trout. Trout goes right side, top shelf, and buries the goal for the Yellow Jackets. BW now with a 14-3 advantage over Chatham. The draw is controlled by Chatham. Coming out of the pack with it is Colin Beeman. He'll give it to Zen Smith, then it'll get lobbed up the field to Riley Lewis. Lewis over to Labawi. Labawi off right side. Sends it out top. And it's to Joshi. Now over to Iovino. Iovino throws it to Joshi, but it goes across midfield. The Yellow Jackets will get possession. Frankovic with it, sends it to Trout, left side. Trout fires it towards the net, and it's deflected high. And will be awarded to the Yellow Jackets. Dodging with it, over to Nanoski. Nanoski to Sheely. Sheely sends it to Trout. Trout from point blank range can't get it to go. And it's picked up and hustled down the field by Chatham. That's number 34, Jackson Adkins. Adkins to Rigdon. Rigdon behind the cage. Kicks it out top to Labawi. He'll send it right side now. That's to Griffin. Griffin spins to his right, fires it past Lopiccolo, and it's into the back of the cage for a Chatham goal. BW now with a 10-point edge, 14-4 with 10:39 left to go here in the third quarter. Chatham wins the draw as it's scooped up by Ethan Joshi. Sent over to Griffin, now out top to Curtin. Curtin bounces it towards the net, and it bounces right over the net. And possession will stay with the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets now get possession as it's deflected out of bounds by Chatham. It will be lobbed down the field. Sent across midfield to Caleb Fox. Fox on the drive over to Trout, left side. Trout backs it out. Yellow Jackets changing up on the fly, dodging with it behind the cage. Over to Nanoski on the right side. Over to Hoover, now back near midfield to Sheely. He'll send it over to Geiselhardt on the left side. Geiselhardt on the drive, pumps the brakes, slips a pass. Inside to Trout, and he'll go low right side for the Yellow Jacket tally. VW now with a 15-4 advantage thanks to the Pickerington North graduate burying the goal once more. Bennett Trout now with 5 goals on the night, 6 goals as they update the live statistics. And BW back in front by 11. And the faceoff will be scooped up by Chatham. That's Thomas Curtin with the ball. Over to Lewis on the right side. Lewis outlets it to Isaac Joshi. Joshi sends a pass left side to Iovino. Now to Rigdon. Rigdon behind the net with a pass to Griffin. Griffin will back it out, send it out to Iovino. Iovino's pass goes to Griffin. He sends it wide of the cage. Chatham will keep possession. Rigdon with it behind the net. Sends it out front. It kicks through, and it's saved by Lopiccolo. It'll be scooped up and sent over to Rigdon once more. Rigdon behind the cage, drives to the left, fires it towards the net, and it bounces up and over the cage and into the protective netting here at Finnie Stadium. 50 on the shot clock and counting for Chatham. It's Griffin with it. Over to Rigdon. He fires it on net, and it's saved by Lopiccolo. He feigns one pass, then jogs it out behind the cage, then up the field a little bit before outletting it to Tafe on the near side. Tafe across midfield. Sends it out front, but it's stolen away by Isaac Joshi. A little bit of a reset here for Chatham as they get on some substitutions. Gets outletted to Labawi. Labawi over to Griffin on the near side. Will get sent back left side to Iovino. Now behind the net it goes. Ethan Rinker with it, and it's shot on net, and it's a goal for Chatham. A late flag flies as one of the Cougars had his helmet pop off. I'm guessing the flag flew because it was assisted by one of the Yellow Jackets. I'll make it a 10-goal difference now if Chatham's goal stays on the board, and it should. They trail the Yellow Jackets 15-5 with 6:51 to go here in the third. Luke Iovino with the tally. The officials explaining the calls to both coaching staffs who have met at midfield. While we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics, University Hospitals, Trasinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's match is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection, LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game against Chatham on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. After tonight's match, the Yellow Jackets will be off for 10 days. They will resume the season when they open Ohio Athletic Conference play against the Marietta Pioneers on March 23rd right here at Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium. This is the start of a 3-game homestand for the Yellow Jackets tonight, as after they host Marietta on the 23rd, they will again host Otterbein on March 29th. So the Yellow Jackets will have possession. Up by 10, looking to make it 11 on this possession. Sheely with it out top, sends it right side, gets it right back from Dodgen, fires it towards the net, and it's wide, low and left side. The Yellow Jackets will keep it. 60 seconds left on the shot clock. Trout with it, sends it out to Kuhnman, out to Sheely. Sheely sends it right side to Geiselhart. Now to Dodgen, back to Geiselhart, over to Sheely. Left side it goes to Kuhnman. Around the world, back to Trout. And the Yellow Jackets will start it all over again. Sheely, left wing to Kuhnman, and it sails out of bounds. Last touched by the Yellow Jackets, but it will stay BW possession with 39 seconds left on the shot clock. Sheely out top. Sends a pass to Trout down low, and he had it pop out of the webbing of his stick, and it will be Yellow Jacket ball. 25 on the shot clock. Trout to Kuhnman. Out front to Sheely. He'll rocket it towards the net, and it is wide of the net and into the protective netting here at Finnie Stadium. Trout behind the net. Out to Kuhnman. Now out front to Sheely. Back to Kuhnman on the left wing. Back to Sheely out top. Down low to Trout. Tried to find Geiselhart cutting toward the cage. It's deflected out. The Yellow Jackets keep it, and they will run out the time on the clock, and Chatham will get possession. Lewis sends a pass far left side, and that goes to Jack Neal. Up the field, the Cougars go with Iovino, who sends a pass over to Labawi. Labawi off left side, spins to his right, gets out top, drives all the way to the right side, sends a shot low, and it's saved by Lopiccolo. He'll send a pass near side to Noah Bartos. Now it gets up the field to Caleb Fox. Fox over to Trout on the left side. Now to Kuhnman. Kuhnman drives towards the net and scores for the Yellow Jackets. A late flag flies. And the officials will have another discussion. It's the third time the flags have flown tonight. The goal stands. The Yellow Jackets back in front by 11. They lead it 16-5 with 4:41 to go in the third period. So back to midfield we will go for another draw. Zach Soul will take it for the Yellow Jackets, and taking it for the Cougars, Colin Beeman. Soul versus Beeman, and it will be Zach Soul who will come out of the pile with it. He has it poked away. Tries to scoop it back toward one of his teammates, and does. Now it's batted across midfield, and Jake Nanoski trying to scoop it up. He will. Sends it over to Trout. Trout has it stopped by Zen Smith. What a save right there by the Cougar. It's rocketed down the field by the Cougars, and they will retain possession. Off the deflection, Riley Lewis with it. Sends it out top to Labawi. Quick change for the Cougars. Labawi on the reset. Trying to drive, kicks it left side to Rigdon. Rigdon out top to Iavino. Iavino out now to Isaac Joshi. Interior pass, batted away, and scooped up by the Yellow Jackets. Owen Tafe with it. Into the attack zone. Sends it out top to Fox, and Fox has his low left side shot saved by Zen Smith. What a save by the junior keeper from South Lakes High School in Virginia. Rigdon with it. He'll jog it in behind the cage. Rigdon loses his balance twice, keeps possession, sends it out to Labowie, but it deflects across midfield. Bennett Trout will scoop it up for the Yellow Jackets. Play is whistled in. Trout behind the net to Dodgen. Dodgen out to Trout. Left side, back to Dodgen behind the cage. Dodgen with it on the right side. Sends it out to Hoover. He'll get it right back on the right side now. Hoover with it. Hoover rockets a shot towards the net. It goes wide. Yellow Jackets will retain with 44 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:50 to go here in the third quarter. Trout with it. He draws a double team. Outlets it to Kuhnman. Now out top to Sheely. Sheely backs it out. Has it knocked out of his stick, and it will be an over and back. So Chatham will take possession. Trent Griffin on the ball. Drives towards the net and is saved by Lopiccolo. Possession will stay with Chatham as it deflects out of bounds. Griffin with it on the left side of the field. Sends a pass out top to Iavino. Iavino over to Isaac Joshi. Joshi out top to Marsh. He'll reverse to the left side. He gets sent behind the net. That's Griffin once more. Griffin tries to fire it towards the net, and it's sent out of the reach of Luke Iavino. Chatham will retain possession. 36 seconds in counting left on the shot clock. Just 43 seconds left in this third quarter of play. It's Griffin with the ball right wing. Sends a pass wide to the left side of the cage. Isaac Joshi with it. Left side, sends a pass right side to Marsh, and Marsh will knock it into the net for the Chatham tally. That cuts the BW lead back to 10. BW in front 16-6 with just 17 seconds left here in this third quarter of play. Zach Soule will be on the draw for the Yellow Jackets against Colin Beeman. It's won by Soule. He'll drive all the way down the field, fired a shot on net that's saved by Smith. Smith then lobs it down the field. 8 seconds left. It's Griffin with it. Griffin on the drive. It's saved by Lopiccolo, scooped up and knocked away by the Yellow Jackets. That will end the third quarter with Baldwin Wallace leading it 16-6 2-6. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the fourth quarter from Baldwin Wallace University. You're watching tonight's men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to Baldwin Wallace University. Tressel Field inside the George Finnie Stadium. It's men's lacrosse action between the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and visiting Chatham Cougars. The opening face-off of the fourth quarter won by the Cougars. Shot on net, deflected by Lil Piccolo. That was Devin Traster on the shot, the Mainville, Ohio native and Little Miami High School alum. Won the draw and hustled down the field in less than 5 seconds. Got a shot on net. Trent Griffin behind the cage now. Drives off the left side. Sends it out front to Labawi. It trickles away from him, but he'll hustle after it and control it. Labawi sends it behind the cage. That's Iavino with it. Iavino drawing a flag against the Yellow Jackets. It flies and stoppage in play. One of the Yellow Jackets will be sent off. And it will be Gavin Flack, who will take a knee in front of the scorer's table after committing a foul. Tanner Marsh with the ball. And the officials waiting to signal in play. And we're back underway as Marsh outlets it. It's reversed to Ethan Rinker. Now it's back behind the cage. It's Rigdon with it. Rigdon fires it on net, and it's saved by Lo Piccolo. It bounces all the way out to the 35 before it's scooped up by Paul Fryer. It's tracked down by Rinker. Frere over to Labawi. Labawi looking for Rigdon. It deflects off of his stick. It's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. That's Noah Bartos with it. He'll send it out to the middle of the field to Loudon Peters. Peters trying to hang on to it. He can't, but the Yellow Jackets scoop it up, and that's Will Lash who will get it, but it's taken away once more by the Cougars. Rinker with it. The Cougars sending on some substitutions. Rinker will give it to LeBowie. LeBowie sends it left side, or right side, I should say, to Griffin. Griffin out top to Marsh. Over to LeBowie. Now behind the net to Rigdon. Rigdon drives toward the cage, then looks for a passing lane, finds out top to Griffin. His shot is saved by Lopiccolo, scooped up by the Yellow Jackets, run out across midfield. It will be sent out to Ethan Hinkson. Now right side to Nanoski. Looking for Hinkson. He'll put it towards the net, and it's scooped up by Zen Smith. Smith sends it to Lewis on the near sideline. Lewis now out top to Jackson Atkins, who brings it into the attack zone. Rinker with it out top, waiting for a reset. He'll swing it over to Iovino, who sends it right side to Marsh. Marsh looking to get it inside, and does, to Stanukinas, and that's a goal for the Cougars. 16-7 now. BW in front by 9 with 11:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Marsh picks up the assist on the goal. Vetter will draw for the Yellow Jackets. And an infraction is called against the Yellow Jackets. It will be Chatham possession. Isaac Joshi with it, sends it over left side to Trent Griffin. Griffin on the drive, puts it towards the net, and it is wide right side, but it will stay with the Cougars. Play whistled back in quickly, under 11 minutes to go. Yellow Jackets with a 9-point advantage, 16-7. Rigdon behind the net with the ball. And it's poked away by the Yellow Jackets. Lopiccolo will send it back to Ryan Frankovic, who had the initial takeaway. He gets it across midfield and gives it up to Geiselhart. Geiselhart drops it back to Sheely. He'll send it left side to Kuhnman. Now out front to Sheely once again. He'll drive off to his right, send a pass left side. Kuhnman out top to Geiselhart. Geiselhart slips, loses the ball, tries to knock it up the field, and will do that to save possession. Out to Nanoski, out front. Nanoski loses a handle, but scoops it back up. Kicks it to Ian Sheely. 15 and counting on the shot clock. Sheely sends it wide to the left side. Possession will stay with the Yellow Jackets. With just 10 seconds left to get a shot on net on this possession. Trout will have it. Out front it goes, and that will skip across midfield where Chatham will take possession. Trent Griffin with the ball. Griffin being very deliberate for the Cougars as he gets out top, now off to the right side. And 2 more substitutions will report, 1 for each side. It's Labawi with it, drawing a lot of attention from the Yellow Jackets. Unable to find a passing lane so far. He'll continue to back it out and reset. Sends a pass off to Griffin on the right side. Griffin draws a double team, splits it, fires a shot towards the net, and it will stay with Chatham. Shot was wide of the net. Ethan Rinker with it, right side, sends a pass left side to Labawi. Now out front it goes to Adkins. Iavino, excuse me. Now on the drive, a shot on net is saved by Lopiccolo. Scooped up by Loudon Peters. He'll give it to Samuel Lopiccolo, who feigns the pass down the field, then sends it up right side. It goes to Dodgen. Dodgen will take it behind the net. And back even. And send it over to Bennett Trout. Before it goes right back to Dodgen. Now to Nanoski on the right wing. Nanoski out to Hoover. Hoover sends it out to Kuhnman. Kuhnman now to Geiselhart. Geiselhart charging in from the left side. Bumps off of one defender. Draws a double team. Has it whacked out of his stick. It's tracked down by the Yellow Jackets. Kuhnman with it. 29 seconds and counting left on the shot clock. Geiselhart out over to Nanoski on the right side. Near sideline, I should say. He goes to his left and drives right. Sends it to Trout behind the cage. Out left side to Kuhnman. Kuhnman winds up, fires a shot towards the net, and it is wide. The Yellow Jackets will keep possession. 6 left on the shot clock. Trout will get it started. Out front it goes to Dodgen on a jump ball, and it goes wide of the net. Possession will go over to the Chatham Cougars. They trail at 16-7 with 6:44 in counting left in this fourth quarter. While we have this opportunity, want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Trasinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. During that break, Chatham got on the board once more as Tanner Marsh went low right side and scored for the Cougars. The Yellow Jackets still doubling up the Cougars, though, 16-8 with 6:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Yellow Jackets win the faceoff and get the ball into the attack zone. Noah Bartos with it. He'll drop it off to Sheely. Sheely will drive off right side. Now behind the cage. It gets reversed to Dodgen. He'll fire a shot towards the net, and it's saved by Zen Smith. Neal with it, sends it back to Smith. Smith lobs it up the field. That's to Curtin. Curtin across midfield. Outlets it left side. It's Isaac Joshi now to Griffin out top. Griffin will drive off left side. Griffin will wait for some substitutions. And now with it is Ethan Rinker. Rinker fires it out to Tanner Marsh, who got the last tally for the Cougars, looking for more as they continue to try to cut into the deficit, which stands at 8 with 4:44 in counting left in this game. Isaac Joshi with a good look in front, and he'll slip a shot past Lo Piccolo. He'll bounce it into the goal for the tally. Trent Griffin picks up the assist. The Yellow Jackets still in front by 7, 16-9, 4:34 to go here in the fourth quarter, but the Chatham Cougars not going away as they have scored 3 straight. Traster on the draw for Chatham. Vetter on the draw for the Yellow Jackets. Vetter trying to scoop it, and it's controlled by Traster. Traster drives towards the cage. He'll back it out with some encouragement from the Yellow Jackets. And a timeout is called by Chatham. With 4:17 to go here in the fourth quarter while we have this opportunity, want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying today's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. 4:17 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Baldwin Wallace leads it 16-9, but Chatham making a heck of a run here in this fourth quarter. They have spent the majority of the period down in the Yellow Jacket end, and they're cashing out possessions with tallies. Chatham outscoring the Yellow Jackets 3-0 here in the fourth. And they have now scored 4 straight times to cut what was a 16-5 Baldwin Wallace lead to 16-9 here in the fourth quarter. Rigdon with it, sends it behind the net to Marsh. Marsh now gives it to Iavino. Back to Rigdon, back to Iavino behind the net. Iavino slips a pass to Stanyakinis. Now out front it goes to Griffin, and his shot is wide of the net. Possession will stay with Chatham. 60 seconds on the shot clock. 3:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. Griffin with it for the Cougars. Goes to his left. puts a shot towards the net and buries it top shelf for the Cougars tally. 5 straight goals for the Cougars, who are not going away. And the Yellow Jackets have to figure something out quickly as their lead is down from 11 to 5 in short order by the Cougars. Zach Soul will take the draw for BW. And he will be whistled for an infraction, which will give the draw to the Cougars. Traster with it. Takes it behind the cage, working against Soul. Traster outlets it and then hustles toward midfield, where he will sub out. Labawi with it. Checked by Zach Soul. Labawi dives towards the net and buries it for the Cougars. .255 and counting left in this fourth quarter of play, and the Yellow Jackets have watched their lead dwindle down to 5 at 16-11. Critical draw here for the Yellow Jackets. They need to get some offensive zone time. Vetter on the win. Has it knocked loose. Scoops it back up and passes out front to Bartolotto. And flags fly from all 3 of the officials on the field. Play continues. Vetter heads off for the Yellow Jackets. Nanoski with possession on the near sideline. Nanoski out top to Hoover. Hoover over to Sheely on the near side. Sheely sends it left side. That's Hoover with it. Hoover into the middle to Dodgen. It's loose, and it will be controlled by Zen Smith. Stoppage in play. The officials collect their flags and play will be whistled in shortly. 1:54 left here in this fourth quarter. The Yellow Jackets lead at 16-11. They were up by as much as 16-5. 6 straight tallies, I should say, has cut into this lead, and now they get hit with an over and back, and Chatham will get another possession. Riley Lewis with it, near side. Now Trent Griffin will get it, back to Lewis. Lewis over to Labawi. Behind net it goes. And it's caught by Isaac Joshi. Joshi on the drive. Off to the left wing, out front to Labawi. Labawi to the right of the cage, now behind the cage. Out front to Rigdon, and a little Piccolo with the save that goes literally sky high and bounces over the head of Labawi. And Chatham will keep possession. 56 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:01 left in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field by the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. And while we have this opportunity, want to remind you one more time that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Trasinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. .101 to play here in this fourth quarter. 60 seconds left on the shot clock. Chatham with possession. They trail the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets 16-11. Both teams have their final timeout remaining. Marsh with possession. Outlets it to Rinker. Rinker driving. Gets it away to Rigdon. Rigdon fires it toward the net. Misses everyone. And Chatham will keep possession. It's Griffin with the ball once more. Out front it goes. Shot on net. Deflected by Lopiccolo. Is scooped up by the Yellow Jackets and hustled across midfield by Owen Tafe. Tafe sends a pass left side to Trout. Trout fires a shot wide and to the right. Nanoski will have it. And now with 21 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, Chatham will call its final timeout while we have this opportunity. Want to remind you once more that tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. University Hospitals, Trasinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You're enjoying tonight's Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse game on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. 21 seconds left in this game. Baldwin Wallace with a 16-11 lead over Chatham. Chatham scoring the last 6 goals of the match. Bennett Trout with it. And he draws an immediate double team. Now that play is whistled back in. Excuse me for that. That's Paxton Allison who has it, and he'll jog away from the double team. Trying to run off what's left of this clock. He swings it near sideline to Dodgen, and Dodgen ducks his way out of a check and will run out the clock. The Yellow Jackets with the victory over Chatham. BW now 1-5 on the season. They will take on the Marietta Pioneers in their next game on March 23rd, and then they will host the Otterbein Cardinals on March 29th to wrap up what is a 3-game homestand before taking that trip across the county to Weismer Field at Don Shula Stadium to take on those JCU Blue Streaks. Chatham falls to 3-3 on the season. They are now 2-1 away from home. Taking a look at some final statistics for you before we get on out of here. Individually, Chatham was led by Trent Griffin, who had 2 goals. Tanner Marsh had 2 goals as well. And then Alex Stanukinis led the way with 3, 1 each for Brady Rigdon, Jacob Babawi, Luke Iavino, and Isaac Joshi. Leading the way in assists, it was actually 4 different players who tallied an assist. Griffin, Marsh, Isaac Joshi, and Ethan Rinker tallied helpers. In the save department, Brett Zaruba had 11 before he was lifted for Zen Smith. Looking at the Yellow Jackets tally, leading the way, Bennett Trout had 6 goals. Ian Sheely had 4. Jacob Kuhnman had 3, 1 each for Noah Dodgen, Nate Hoover, and Riken Geiselhart. Geiselhart led the way with 4 assists. Jake Nanoski had 3. Ian Sheely had 2. Kuhnman and Dodgen each had 1 for the Yellow Jackets, and Samuel Piccolo had 18 saves on 47 shots faced. He gave up 11 goals in net. The Yellow Jackets were outshot 47-46 and had 27 shots on goal to 29 for the Cougars. Saves went the way of the Yellow Jackets 18-11, faceoffs 1, and ground balls also went to the Yellow Jackets by identical 17-13 counts. BW 17 of 17 on clears, Chatham 18 of 21. Turnovers 14 for the Yellow Jackets and 16 for the Cougars. Caused turnovers 9 for BW, 7 for Chatham. Man up advantage, Yellow Jackets 0 of 1 and Chatham 0 of 0. Once again, Chatham falls to 3-3 overall on the season, 2-1 away from home. The Yellow Jackets get their first W of the season, and they improve to 1-5 overall. They are now 1-1 on the home turf here at Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium, and once again, they will next be in action on March 23rd when they host the Marietta Pioneers in the second of their 3-game homestand, which will conclude on March 29th with a 1 p.m. face-off against the Otterbein Cardinals. For everyone here at Baldwin Wallace, I'm Matt Florjancic saying have a great night, everybody. And as always, go Jackets. BW 16-11 winners over Chatham. Have a great night, everybody.